electric cars. Is it just the price of? I mean, electric cars have not soared, other than Tesla, I guess, the way everybody thought they were going to. Is it just because the price of gas has gone down so low that people are just still buying?
Yeah, I definitely think
fossil fuel cars?
That's certainly the biggest factor, right? It's the simplest. Gasoline prices are one of the most salient prices you see up on those big billboards. So I think that's the biggest factor. The other thing is that, generally speaking, the problem with electric cars is that consider a pie of the auto mix, right? The vast majority, 99%, are gasoline powered. Electric cars and hybrids, they don't compete with an F-150. The people who want to buy an F-150 are not going to be like, instead I'm going to go buy a Tesla or a Prius.
Right, yeah.
So the electric car market is competing with itself. So somebody who might buy a Tesla might buy a Prius instead. And so until you can really cut out of that kind of mold of these electric cars and perhaps create an electric pickup truck, right? But of course, I once was in Colorado several years ago chatting with some of the anti-fracking activists out there. And I was getting driven around in the guy's gasoline-fired pickup truck. And I asked him, well, why don't you have an electric car? And he's like, well, I did once, but it didn't have enough oomph and I couldn't get up the mountain to go skiing. And so he, even though he's an anti-fracking person, he still didn't buy an electric car. So until you can really kind of get out of that mold of these types of cars that attract a certain type of people, it's going to be hard to, especially with gasoline prices low, it's going to be hard to have a big increase.
I have a few friends in California a lot of friends in California, but a couple of my friends in California own Teslas. They think this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. They are so over the moon over the Tesla, and they're expensive cars, right?
Right.
And they what I saw recently is Tesla now is valued the highest of
more than General Motors.
More than General Motors, and they make a fraction of the number of cars.
Right. I mean, I think that's astounding. I've been in a Tesla twice. Once in an Uber ride, and as soon as I realized I got a Tesla.
Uber ride?
I was like, well, I should have gone much farther instead of, the couple miles I was going. And it was incredibly
I can't believe an Uber driver could afford a Tesla.
Right. I told him, I was wondering why he was doing that. I think it was a side job.
Because the cheaper Tesla is not even in production. Well, it's in production, but they're not available yet.
I don't think that,
Model 3 or
this
whatever
was 6 months ago or so.
Yeah, right. The other Tesla, you were saying?
The other Tesla, a colleague of mine, a source of mine at Southern Company once gave me a ride there. Of course, big utility companies are pushing electric cars because it means more business for them.
Right.